on the blue sky, Henry, you might end up in space. There's some soldiers up there, and they're taking on another animal. This time it's a rodent.
It is indeed. The first two games weren't that tense.
This one's going to be good.
This one is going to be good. It's a Mirage again, Matt. I'm not sure that was the best play. I feel like mouse sports are so deadly on this one. It's like Space Soldiers. I was hoping for them, but before we had the predictions coming in, I was thinking, yeah, Space Soldiers can do this. With this map, I'm not so sure, but I think it should be a very good game. I think it'll be double digits on either side, and I do think Space Soldiers have a chance here, but mouse sports have really impressed me in this tournament. Had a couple of blunders overall, but they're, for me, going to be the team with this map coming forward, making it in the final spots. The very last one, last chance saloon, Matt. Who have you got?
Whew, I went Space Soldiers.
Okay.
I think this is the time. I think that
nice,
yeah, I mean, they've worked so hard to just get to majors, finally making steady progress. They find themselves in a position that it's highly likely.
The one thing I will say, if mouse sports do go through, I expect them to do better in the best of threes, and Space Soldiers would. So if I'm looking purely from that point of view, I'd prefer them to go through, if you will, but Space Soldiers would be very happy for them to make it through at the very same time.
Make it in his first major.
Exactly. 4 sets of armor, 1 smoke as we beat a side attack. There's a smoke going in. They're going to be going for a contact play. Look at Sticko, he's very far back. The smoke goes towards short. Flash over. Sticko not too much about this. Jay goes down first. What a play from Major. He has been playing exceptionally in this tournament so far. A double headshot to kick open that B bomb site. And now a 5 versus 3 begins.
Oscar trying to find a shot toward the windows. Couldn't quite get the kill, but they're still gonna have to play the retake. Major swings out, good stuff. There's on towers to take down Sonny, and Paz on the ROPS. Paz is another player that's come onto my radar. Major's played well, we've touched on him. Calixton's on towers are stars in their own right, but Paz has looked really solid this event.
They all are very good individual fraggers, exceptionally. So it's going to be, there's Calix on your screen right now. He'll be one of the names that I'm sure will be reporting back on a lot. Mouse sports now, no force, but from what I can see, they get upgraded pistols. Only ROPS gets the armor. So they're trying to keep things a little bit more modest. Look at the bigger picture here. I think that's wise. It's a best of 1 environment. Make sure your money's strong. Win out on the gun rounds. That's always going to be the best way to operate. Trying to force the issue every single round and spend all your money. It's going to come back and bite you in the end. They are the better team technically. They've got a lot more notoriety in terms of the events they've attended, the success they've had in 2017. Space Soldiers at their first ever major here. AKs out in full force, 3 of them. Sunterra's, Major and Paz. Calix of the UMP and Engine with the MAC-10.
So bomb, very intentional. Left at the horseshoe to see if there will be any Majors watching that. Meanwhile, Paz investigates. They'll go back. No one in mouse sports willing to overextend. Already a much slower pace to these rounds than what we had in the last game, that's for sure.
Just to reiterate, this is the very final game of the day. 1 spot remaining.
It's the very final stage in the studio.
Yes, that's right. 1 spot remaining in the final round of 8. The Legends status will be granted to either Mouse Sports or Space Soldiers. Montaraz gets 1 step closer, taking down ROPS, 5 on 4. Much of a buy. Some great pistols. Oscar, though, makes his mark number 2. He finds a couple. Sticko chiming in as well. All of a sudden, it's possible.
Impossible. That deal menacing inside of the side as well. They don't want to cross and put it down because they still have Sonny looking that direction. This will suffice instead. To 3. Should be enough. Should be enough. But look out. Sticko takes Sonny's still on 12. Majors collected it. Just to note, Henry, last year we were here for the ELeauge Atlanta Major, and Atlanta Falcons were in the Super Bowl. They lost. Now we're going to Boston, and the New England Patriots, who play out of Marlboro, outside of Boston, are in the finals, so maybe they're going to lose.
Yeah. I wish I could really join you on those ones. I don't know anything about
It's fine, just smile and nod.
Yes. But I do agree, that does sound interesting. 2-0. USPs, CZs, oh, so close to the Major, delivers once more. Sunterra to crack open the A site, but it was Oscar. They've got mouse sports around. This is why I hate B rushes, Matt. I talk about this a lot. Rushing B on an eco round, It's going to get really awkward. Why would you rush B? Play the default. 3-on-3. They might recover this. The bomb didn't commit. As Paz will do whatever he can here. And you can see this is why you don't do it. This is such an important round. You might think it's an easy situation. It can fall apart very quickly. As Sticko, he gets stuck in as well. Zantara is the last player remaining. Luckily, the bomb did not get given to the CTs there.
Lucky as ever. They were close last round. Someone's correct me. It's Foxborough, not Marlborough. Marlborough's down the road.
Well, there you go.
Foxborough is where the IEO arena is as well. IEO, Oreo, or whatever. And Gillette is where they play. Or used to be. I don't know what it's called. It's not that great of a sport. Zantares, he'll swing in. This is crazy that both these rounds against very little weapons, very little opposition in that regard, has come so close. Bodes well for Mouse Sports once we get into the gun rounds, you'd think. It certainly does in terms of keeping the economy honest for space soldiers. Sometimes good farm. Stico jumping inside of the site, looking desperately for information. He's going to commit to the plant as well. He's got just enough time to do it before Oscar would be on his case. But Oscar's sneaking in, still with that MAC-10 as well. No kit, no armor, but he's got the jump on Zantares. Ooh, and NKJ, the coach of Mouse Sports, is loving it.
Isn't that LMB?
Lambert, you're right, I'm sorry.
I didn't want to steal the moment from you.
It's fine.
But it is right. That's Space Soldiers giving that round up. You must know this, Matt. The amount of times I've said to you, do not rush B when you're against full eco. Regardless what you think's on the other side, you should just not do that. It's a really bad move. Sure, most of the time it'll work out and look fine, but that one time you go in and they stack B, you look like such a plum, and they're going to be tilted off that one against a full eco. And one Deagle and one CZ and USPs. There's no need for it. Run a default, get some intel. Throw a MAC-10 in first if you have to. You can sacrifice one player, and this is the kind of experience that Space Soldiers need to pick up from these events. So force buy in this round, a similar buy from what we saw from Vegas Squadron, remember? 3 MAC-10s, a Deagle and an AK-47. Good shot from Chris J though. Electric throughout this tournament as well. First shot, and this is Sunny coming to life. 5-on-3. Sloppy stuff from Space Soldiers, and this is looking quite the convincing round from Mouse Sports. Get one back as Calyx has dropped. One player remaining. 81 HP. And this could be the beginning of the end. Mouse Sports now going to be fired up from that round.
Major. Underpass. You're right, that is LMBT. My mistake. I knew that. He was more pumped up than anyone else in Mouse.
He turned round and really let out quite the scary scream. I haven't seen him like that for a small man like he's. Oh, is that a pipe for them?
Major. 33 HP. Survives, gets killed, but Mouse Sports have certainly turned this on its head early. This game decides the predictions of our analysts as well. It'll be either YNK or DDK that take over the lead. I lost on Gambit. So it's between those two for the win.
That's another story altogether. Ooh, desperately got anything with this round. Like this point, 20 seconds. Robs finishes things off. Good work by Mouse Sports, a double orb setup. Will be out in full force. It was Oscar and Chris J to find initial kills there. Like I said, I do consider them the strongest team. In terms of firepower, Space Soldiers are right up there with them, and on their day, they can take down anyone, as they've shown in this tournament. But some key mistakes. That B rush could be one that comes back and haunts them. AK-47s for the CTs, just one. I thought they could have another, but not meant to be. And it has to be the full weekend now for Space Soldiers. There'll be CZs, blocks, and no armor. A couple of flashbangs, and they'll see if any CTs will push up towards him and try and get a cheeky kill there. But Mouse Sports playing correctly, just holding up, watching every choke point. Sticko to patrol towards B. Says hello to Major. Doesn't give him a chance to take him down. Just watches the window, make sure he can't commit towards the site.
Laying down smoke. Incendiary. Throwing smoke.
So Stico will hold off smoke down. Slightly shallower smoke than the other one that you could throw from the top of the garbage, but it still suffice. It goes to the inside of the doorway. It's a bit of a gap toward the truck, or the van, if you will. The cube van. Good hold. Chris J's on catwalk and just getting rummaged inside of the site. Planted. That was the intention of the entire play. But they'll get guns again. 3-2. Mouse Sports take the lead.
Yep, getting mauled as they come in the B side. No plant coming in. It was quite close to going down at that point. About one more second would have yielded some sort of success to Space Soldiers, but a gun round comes through. No AWP though on the Space Soldiers side. Sticko just watching the bombs are there. Nothing too flashy here. Just denies a couple of kills. Make sure that bomb doesn't go down. Calyx will be disappointed with that. Would have meant extra money for the team going for number 6 here. They will have AKs and looks like a set piece here, which is quite common. 4 players towards the 8 on the map. That's a smoke for the steps he's lining up. Calyx going to flash towards middle first. They'll be smoking towards jungle, steps, CT spawn, and they'll flash towards middle, just for good measure. And here comes the play. In terms of the setup for Mouse Sports, they have Rops in front of the A ramp, looking to fight aggressively. Of course, he will fall back.
Down. Good shot, Calyx. Oscar gone. He got major back and dead to the sights of it. Trade considering he was on the edge of the smoke, and it could have easily faded back at CT. Left things very strong in the post plant. The retake. Engine's going to stay at Sandwich. He's low, 20 HP, but he can afford to play for the information at this point in time. They've already cleared toward the top of Connector. So very passive in Calyx at the time, given he's got 3 teammates, and Engine staying alive. To rotate all the way around. Paz takes out Sunny. Sticko versus 2. Knows where 1 is and only 1. I'm sure he's going to suspect Calyx has rotated around. Doesn't even matter. Even if he wants out of the site, he gets shut down.
Nice work by Space Soldiers there. The smoke's deployed. Trading frags effectively. Bomb gets planted. And the CTs can't really do much about it. Ends in a 2 versus 1 with Sticko's got too much to work with in terms of a player at a ramp. Player at connector. A bomb to defuse, and it's just out of his reach, unfortunately for him. 3-3. Money still available from our sports, but not much at all. UMP in hands of Sticko. They do have 2 orbs still, but this will be the final buy if they do lose this round. Engine brings up the Mac 10. Well, actually quite an interesting buy, considering they've got 3 players on our sports side of our helmets. Their Mac 10 becomes a lot more powerful. Chris J knows it. Looking to get the first position for him, and shot all day long. Sunny down again towards middle. Chris misses another sit-up. 2 players in front of him. Normally very good at that style, but can't make them connect just yet.
Engine the underpass, Mac 10 in hand, smoke still above him. Yeah, we knew this game was going to be closer than the last 2. I thought all 3 were going to be close. I thought on paper we had a great series of matches. So far, only 2 teams have really played.
Yeah, both of the opening games, they were good in terms of the individual performances we saw from the winning teams, but in terms of great Counter-Strike and an exciting matchup, not so much. This one, though, yes, you're right, should be very close indeed. Hard-hitting teams, lots of skill on the server. 50 seconds remaining now. In terms of the Mouse Sports setup, it's a Sticko alone in B. Oscar, one of the star players of Mouse Sports for quite a while now, finds the opening pick, takes down Zanteras. Engine flies down, Mac 10 is going to do damage against the unarmored head. That's his back, and Oscar fighting up close and personal, can't land that shot.
Rops! Edge of a smoke, Calyx down. Mouse Sports win yet another. They'll take the lead, 4-3. And the op, grabbed by Rops, carried over. Oscar will very much welcome that back in his hands. He's looking almost, I think, a little bit disappointed he didn't hit that second shot, even though the pressure was on.
Yeah, he's a very emotional player. He likes to be top of the scoreboard.
Internalizing almost.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he didn't want to let it all out and complain. He's just like, yeah, okay, we won the round. I could have done a bit better. What is this from Chris J? He's got the Nova out. Now that's an interesting thing. There's the B-bomb side. Kind of reading they're going to be low on money, but they've got armor and stuff. The Nova's not going to be a great purchase here. He hasn't been the first Nova purchase the entire tournament. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I would put myself on the line and say that's quite a possibility. Let's see if it finds any sort of success here. He might be tested. Sunny certainly will. Down he goes, courtesy of Major. Chris J has a chance now. Will this Nova do anything? Looks for 1 and gets nothing. I don't know why he buys that. It's going to fall apart. Pulls out the USP. Down he goes. Soldiers looks like they'll find great success. 3 players survive. And Chris J.
Shotgun was in that round. When was the last time the farmer had to get his gun?
Indeed.
4-4. This is going to be a brawl. Zantaras drops the op back over to Major. Thank you very much for giving that back. Oscar won't have it this time. Money gone. That's how honest this game has been kept. Look at this from Paz.
Lovely stuff.
That last bullet.
Indeed. Well, that money was not amazing for Mouse Sports, and that's reflected right now. They will be all in round number 9, 4-4. Scouts out, UMP for Sunny. They have got Deagles as well. Space Soldiers looking to take the lead here. I'm very interested by that Chris J. Buy. I think he assumed they were going to be full eco, he's going to have some fun. They force sport, completely bamboozle him. Number 9, Oscar. With some backup from Chris J. Faces towards him. He might get one, but not even that. Chris J will have to try and strike back with the scouts. But I'll fall back, knowing that the AK crosshairs are looking towards him. Major this time with the AWP.
Zontares.
The 2 misthrown smokes towards middle.
Yeah, I didn't think that second one did miss. I thought it landed. You're right. Absolutely.
2 of them towards middle. They
give up on mid, boys. Let's go.
Another one. Can't land this one. Here we go. Way in it goes.
Nicely done.
Well, shouldn't affect the round outcome too much, but certainly makes things a bit uncomfortable. Bit of bickering going on perhaps. Can't land one of the more simpler smokes. 40 seconds remaining. Zantares, an absolute beast. Individual one-on-one duels, gets bested this time by the scout.
Chris finds it. Sonny's gotten passed down. You said it wouldn't dictate the outcome. Dictated by that. You know what I mean? It doesn't. You're right. It has nothing to do with middle, but it's still shut down. Mouse Sports again about to buy or win on a ropey buy. It'll be the 3rd time this game, and already Major's giving up on the fact that they're going to even have a chance in it. He just wants to get rid of the op. Run away in 13 seconds. He'll go down.
He's doing it.
And LMBT's loving it.
He is. He's fired up. And yeah, Space Soldiers, those smokes. And it was towards B they went, but what a poor. The B bomb tie has not been successful at all for them. It's 1 by 1. No real pressure applied to Chris J. No one's getting out. Like, you want to be getting out quickly of that window, jumping out together with a flashbang, maybe a couple of smokes towards the arch and get out as a unit. But that was clumsy, I think is the best way to describe that. Now forced by back. It's a very back and forth game indeed. Deagles, 1 AK, a Mac 10 for Major, a weapon we've seen quite a lot in the last 2 maps. And number 10, Major wanted to push through. There is a slight gap there, but I want to be able to use it. Watch one of the smoke once more. Come through. And now they've got a chance.
Engine plants the outside of the box. He's going to jump across. Oscar's waiting, but he's blind. He can hear coming, but he couldn't do anything about it. So Paz wins the duel, gets the M4 picked up, and Space Soldiers, their turn to win. Don't buy guns this game, Hank.
Doesn't seem like they're appropriate. Well, the force buy. Looking very good for Space Soldiers. Chris J and Sticker looking to get the hell out of dodge here as they fall back. It will be Sticker to be dropped towards CT spawn. Chris J. Yeah, this is highlighting the back and forth aspect of the game so far in the last 4 rounds. No one being able to build up an amazing amount of momentum, and this one indeed ties up a 5-5. Mouse Sports will have to make a decision here. They've got $2,000 on Oscar, Sunny $1,400. Sticker, Robs and Chris J can buy. Do they opt for it though? Chris J saving the AK-47, remember, he can drop an M4. That's why they'll take the tactical timeout. I'd assume they would. It's not the best of buys. If Robs had 50 more bucks, he could actually drop the AWP, but that's not going to be possible now. We'll have a look at the scoreboard while we're here. 11 kills for Major. What a game he's had. He kicked things off that amazing entrance to the B-bomb side on the pistol. Managed to clutch it out 2 versus 1 as well. Engine 6 and 7. At the bottom is Calyx 3 and 7. As I mentioned, one of the star players of Space Soldiers. Oscar at the very top for Mouse Sports, so 10 kills, 8 deaths. Beneath him, Sticko, 8 and 7. Sunny, quiet game from him so far, 5 and 8. We'll follow that closer to half-time, see who steps up here. No team running away with this. If you are just joining us, it's the final map of the day. It decides our final legend. 1 spot remains. Mouse Sports certainly the favourites coming into this matchup, but Space Soldiers have got them on the ropes. They will indeed force into this.
5-5 T side, certainly not bad either. Chris already at some point in time, or push all the way through. He's got to make the decision because Major has already taken his support away from the window. He has to wait, Chris, to get someone else in connector. Timer on the play. Not much he can do to control his own fate. Again, aside from try and push all the way around through the underpass, get to the apartments on a chance that they aren't occupied. They still don't know that he's here. It's the one saving grace in this. And yeah, he is going to push through. He knows that mid's lost. There's no chance to get it back. They can't get any presence inside a connector. He could turn it back now, however, because they've gone to a connector. He is. So he's going to try and show up late. He's been trying forever to go unnoticed. He gets one kill. Has to know they're getting close. Doesn't matter. Oscar's going to take down Zontaras. That's going to buy Chris space. And somehow they come out with the win in middle despite having no information for the longest amount of time. And Chris's patience pays off. Goes down to a 5 versus 3. Bomb will head towards the A side as well.
Not over just yet. The nades come through. Space Soldiers definitely have the potential to land some AK headshots here. They don't even have those as the M4s and the FAMAs, so there's going to be a little bit of a tall order passed down to very low HP indeed. Chris J tentatively waiting his phone, is trying to find as we can here. Good flashbang, but not enough. Oscar waiting towards shore, finds Engine, and look at this play. Boosting in CD spawn for anyone to make a mistake and just inspect that area that'll allow them to plant almost. Chris J's going to be in the connector. He'll be the sacrifice. He's doing that for him, and that should be the round. Lovely work by Oscar there. With the rifle in hand, he manages to pick up 4 kills in total. He's known as an AWPer, but don't get me wrong, he is a very proficient rifler as well. There's only a few AWPers in the game that can be world-class at both weapons, and he's certainly one of them. So we go into round number 12 here. The back and forth gameplay continues. 3 AKs. Calyx can't afford much more than a Deagle armor. Is that what he goes for? Hasn't purchased anything yet. Maybe he's got something on the floor waiting for him. He doesn't. CZ armor. 1 flashbang. Certainly a force buy. Look at the grenade situation. Almost nothing. They'll have 1 smoke to execute on the A-bomb, so that's why they focus more on the palace area. He can be flashed out of the position. Get Major out there first and try and find 3 unarmored heads. Robs, Sonny and Chris J. Look out for them. A little bit more squishy.
Good shot. Sonny burns on Tara's back though. It all comes level. Engine. Rops trades that back, so still we sit level. A site, the occupation, or at least the plan for Space Soldiers. They want to go for the plant open side of the box. Alex manages to do so with no one watching over towards CT. Just does it on a whim. The damage enough to keep Rops at bay. Chris will clear connector. And all 3 gonna play toward A main. Calyx I don't think will rotate around this time. He doesn't have the time, nor does he have the gun.
This is more like him now. I'm enjoying this game. Space Soldiers a lot of heart here and all of their executions. Paz keeping the dream alive, but not for long. 2 on 2 now. Engine and Calyx have to do everything they can. Calyx is waiting to try and deny the defuse. Can he do it? He's going to have to pull out the knife out with Engine gets to it first. Great work by Space Soldiers. 3 AKs, a MAC-10 and a CZ. A very basic execution. Almost no grenades brought to the party there, but the flashbang was decent. They find the entry, the upgrade to a rifle, and Calyx and Engine can finish things off there. Surely Mousesports will allow themselves to recover financially, but they've got $3,500 on Sonny, $1,400 on Chris J. The other 3 sit at $4,000. So a timeout will be called. This is what I was looking for today. In round number 5, both teams being tested, no one getting comfortable. In the last 7 rounds, no one's strung together too.
That's actually ridiculous. What a brawl.
Yeah, absolutely. Good word for him. An absolute brawl. Mousesports will force buy, and it'll probably work out. One team just trying to break the serve at the moment. Force the other onto an eco. That's the aim of the game. Mousesports buy comes in, 2 M4s, 1 for Mass. UMP, Chris J on the Deagle. Watch out for that, he can be quite the demon of that weapon. As he boosts himself up, he'll have to get out of there to spot him. Yep, looking good, but not for long. Paz trading frags, they have to leave for now. 4 versus 3, they assert their dominance towards middle. CT's tried to get stuck in there. They managed to get 1, but that's not going to be enough as the A-split will come through. Calyx to lead the charge from the palace area. Smokes towards jungle. Robs the last line of defense. Can he find anything here? The star player of Mousesports needs to find headshots.
Backs off the angle. Wants to stay alive as well as anything. They're going to push and flashes, turn him away. He dodges them, but it gives Zontaras the edge. The jump. Robs goes down. Good timing from Space Soldiers as a result. Stico and Oscar, all that is left now as well on the defense and looking to save. They're going to back all the way off. Money still gone. This will be the first, as you said, in 7 rounds that a team has won back-to-back consecutively. Thank you, DJ.
There we go.
Paz, he shakes his head yes. We go to Paz. Paz is shaking his head no. So you're not. No, thank you, DJ.
4-on-2. Sticker and Oscar finally have to submit. This will signal, I think, probably the first full eco, apart from the one Mouse Sports won, of course. That's where the madness began. 7-6. Not much separating these two teams. Problem is, this will be tempting to force by the Mouse Sports. The M4 in Oscar's hands to code the UMP. They force ball into this though. They will have nothing for the final round. What's the play? Time will tell. He's keeping Chris J sending them up on full eco. They pretty much are. 2 PT50s is all they'll bring to the party here. Smoke towards middle. In terms of Chris J, sorry, Oscar and Sticko, they will be actually playing aggressively in middle with the M4. Sticko holds a load of B, but it's a full A take.
Deeper Molotov toward Jungle, right? 8-6 looking likely for Space Soldiers. A good start on T side. You said it as well, going against them on Mirage. They're very good on Mirage. You're right. After what we saw from the end of last year, you would have thought top 8 was easily in the cards for them, and best of 3s I think would favor them for top of Mouse Sports, but Space Soldiers are looking to match that of QBF in their first match.
And what a story that was. So, saving weaponry for round number 15 is the aim of the game here.
You say that like it's over. That story's just beginning, Henry.
It can't, surely. Congratulations to them. It's unbelievable the success they've had. Everyone thought Vega would be the team to shut everyone down, but QPF has done it under the radar. This is weird. There it is, the half victory for Space Soldiers confirmed. We saw this at the last major. Some teams that get too fired up sometimes, and it can be counterproductive. You get too fired up and like trying to get stuck into the other team and give the war cries. I like what Space Soldiers are doing right now. They're calm. When they're winning rounds, they're keeping their head in the game. They don't want to make any more mistakes, no more blunders. Keep the calls calm. Make sure you concentrate. Don't want to be focusing on cheering too much. They're keeping themselves very disciplined over there. Final round of the first half, ladies and gentlemen. 3 orbs on the T side of Mirage. Have you ever seen anything like it? I'm going to go and check and T-spawn, as they've got the AKs waiting for them. They do. They've got 3 AKs in T-spawn, I can confirm. So they'll go and upgrade to one of those. Oscar and Chris J might not give them the chance, though, as Hazards and Terrors go down.
Bomb just sitting at his feet. Not a bad way to go about things. Getting aggressive toward the apartment. Major will at least recover. They'll go back around with Engine. AWP.
Weird move to make on the final round. And they get punished for it, the aggressive play from the CTs.
Yeah, T-side especially.
Yeah, no,
That's ridiculous. Class 9
it was Dust 2, sure.
That was very different.
It's Dust 2, I love it, but Mirage, no.
Dust 2, back next major or not?
Yes.
All right,
100%.
what's gone?
I hope. I have a cobblestone and nuke, maybe nuke.
I think it just based on play statistics, it's probably going to be nuke. Yeah. But after watching them, Gambit play the T side. Unfortunately, they're gone now. But they played the T side to start this tournament off. My goodness, there's so much more available to that map.
Speaking of availability,
I'm not available, Henry. Stop that.
It will be Calix to try and crack open this A bomb site. He'll see what's available to him as he walks towards Shadow. You can see another player waiting for him. Just lying in wait, but he strikes just after his teammate goes down. Throws the incendiary towards Connector. Mouse Sports have the lead, looking for 8-7, but still Major is alive and he has been deadly. This double orb setup, this is a blunder from Space Soldiers. 5 rifles working so well, and the 1 AWP was enough. They go for 3 in the final round. Another bad call there, just as I credited them for their discipline they've shown so far. There was absolutely no need for that. And they get taken down here. The Chris J push. There she had Xanterra's waiting towards that underpass position. Chris J bests him. Oscar de San Paz with the AWP. Then they were left in a really tricky situation there. Bit of sustenance there for Chris J. Protein bar. Keep his head in the game.
My Uber driver gave me a sea salt peanut butter bar mix today. It was delicious.
Sounds nice, actually. I like the sea salt and chocolate combination.
Yeah, it was really, really good. It was, I forget what it was called. I should have remembered. But to Jeff, parentheses William, thank you very much. Of course, I gave him a 4-star and no tip, but that's fine. No, I'm kidding. Well, that said, we've got Our 2 minutes at half, that will likely be occupied. 8-7, Mouse Sports T side being aggressive. Managed to win the half, so pressure on, or excuse me, Space Soldiers win the half, so pressure on the Mouse Sports try to pick up the pistol immediately.
So, Chris J, another interesting storyline when it comes to majors, Matt. He actually hasn't made a playoff yet either. And you can see the streaks of group stage exits are quite strong right now. Scudoodle did have 8, but he has advanced. Chris J, 7. And Shocks, 6. It's unbelievable to think Shoxy had that many, right? Nico with 5, he has advanced, and Chris J's the last remaining member of this squad.
And a lot of those with Nico. One of them with FaZe last time, the catalyst for change. A lot of those, he was Chris J's teammate on Mouse Sports.
Indeed, that's a very good point. So
wow.
Yes.
Chris could be the last not to make it.
It's not the best club to be part of.
No, it's really not. It's like being Ricardo Patrese in Formula One.
That's what I was going to say. You got there first.
So many races and no victories. I don't think... Yeah, that's correct.
Well, they'll take the full 2 minutes here. Ladies and gentlemen, this half is it. Who will be taking the very final spot? Another legend will be discovered after this. It's 8-7 in favor of Space Soldiers right now. In terms of the scoreboard, Oscar at the top, 17 kills for him. Sunny at the very bottom, 7. At the top of Space Soldiers is Major, of course. Great game from him. At the bottom for them is going to be Calyx. Is the comparison for you right now. Major and Chris J, the in-game leaders of either side. Chris hasn't had the most electrifying game, some big misses with the AWP as we get into it. Very important pistol, I'm sure you're aware. The gravitas of this round. 4 sets of armor. Chris, as you, the in-game leader, normally has the utility. Throws a smoke, flashbang to go in, and they will be committing towards the A site.
Sunny.
Good shot.
And Robster takes out Calyx. Paz behind, fires, gonna get taken down. Sunny in return, but they push into Engine, and he's got an angle. Except there's a little HP left. The Engine's out of gas. Connector gets shot out by Major. That's going to give them a chance back in. 2 versus 2. Bomb is planted. You can see it at the top. So the kit becomes the issue. Engine's the one with it. He didn't have the armor. Part of the reason he got tagged so considerably early on. Rob spots Major, pushes, flashes. Rob has to go all the way around the corner. Still blind. Major doesn't commit to it. Well, to be honest, I'm not sure why, but they get the hold anyway. They had the kit. Robs gets there late.
I think he's just wanting to body block him as much as possible. Like to say, if you can't kill me, did he have any bullets in there? It's difficult to tell, but it was a really interesting move. Either way, they do pull it off. Robbed with so many kills there. And Major, yeah, he knows his teammate's defusing. It's an awkward angle there. He can just block him as long as possible, I guess.
True. If he dies immediately, he just runs him down. So yeah, it's possible. But
he might have run out of ammo as well. Maybe he didn't have a chance to reload. He's just like, well, the knife left, I'll body block him. Buy myself another half second. That could be it. And it was. So fair play. Under pressure. Maybe we can get some information as to whether he had any bullets left or not. Either way, we'll get into 9-7 now. Bomb goes down from our sports, so they won't force buy here, but Robs does get 2 kills, so he gets the body armor. They're going for AKs in the 3rd. Very tight position, you can see. A couple of rifles coming up for Space Soldiers, preparing for those AKs in the 3rd round. No MP9s, UMPs certainly viable in gun rounds. Deagle for Sunny. That was looking so good for Mouse Sports there. Robs with the entry kill with 2. The P250, that's why it's purchased, of course, has the 1-tap potential, similar to USP. A little bit more difficult to handle in terms of the taps, but has to find the first kill.
Sunny gets taken down, and Paz follows it to stick out. Zantares, Major, Space Soldiers, adding up the rounds. Number 10. Could be just as likely we have a brawl on this side of the map as well. We've swapped things over. Our last half in Atlanta before tomorrow. A one-way ticket to Boston, Hank.
One way in.
Will you sit beside me on the plane?
Well, yeah, Richard told me earlier he wouldn't sit next to me, so it's going to have to be. You're my second choice.
Please sit beside me so I don't have to sit next to you.
You're my second choice, so yeah, that's fine.
Second choice it is then. Wow.
That's still pretty good. Second choice, not bad.
Second sucks.
Jason's third, so.
Second is the first loser. If you're not first, you're last.
Well, we get into this buy from Mouse Sports. This is the one I was interested for. With the bomb coming the pistol. They're not wasting any time here. Sunny gets straight towards CPL. Nice little play. The smokes towards Connector. Robs with another great kill. Dodges the bullets. He goes down to 6 HP, but he gets equal treatment there. Advantage lies with the terrorists. Sunny, great work. Hold CPL strong. They need this. Mouse Sports have had a crushing victory, or crushing defeat today. Remember, they were 13-2 up against QB Fire, and it all went horribly wrong.
Yeah, imagine being that close against the biggest underdog in the event, and
The
now
team no one
your
even bothered
backs.
talking about before the tournament.
Oh, and now your backs are against the wall.
Yeah.
I remember looking up the team list before I came here, because over Christmas I just basically put CS out of my mind and going, QBF. I'll look at them a little bit, thinking I'll see them for 3 games at the qualifier.
Yeah.
That's all. No, not a big deal. Now I'm like, whoa, hang on.
Well, this is looking like Space Soldiers will just indeed save. It was Robson Sunny to find early kills. I love that tactic, though, from Mouse Sports. They completely dissect middle, smoking towards the window area, smoke on the CT side of connector, one in front of shore, flashes through. CTs have no vision what's going on. Sunny just forces his way in, with not slowing down whatsoever towards CPL. Gets in there, holds up. Robs finds the entry kill, forces a reaction. Sunny, he's a CPR, they have no idea. He finds the next kill, they're getting towards big areas. It's way to split the B-bomb. For a couple more here. Oh, if he gets that kill, that's huge. Takes Calyx down to 6 HP. That's fine, him going down. That's not a big deal. We only have the UMP. But yeah, that defeat earlier, after being 13-2 up. How do you recover from that? Timeout for Space Soldiers here. They've got money. They've got a UMP on M4. 6k in Paz. Similar story for Major. Tactical timeout for Space Soldiers, just to confirm. And discussing all their players here. They are on the CT side of Mirage. All this discussion suggests to me they will go aggressive. There's not really much discussion that has to be done on the CT setup. Usually, as a team, you have maybe 3, possibly 4 default setups that you like to run that revolves around an AWPer. If you're discussing it in depth that much, I would suggest they're going for an aggressive pick somewhere. Maybe flashing over A ramp, pushing towards underpass. We'll see what they decide to do. The lack of the AWP dictates they might have to find an early kill. Let's have a look on the minimap on my PC. We'll see whether we can work it out. Santeras. He'll sit in towards jungle. No one pushing necessarily just yet. They've gone for a 4-man stack on the A-bomb side, so that's the play this round. Changing things up. It's quite rare to see 4 players at the very start of the round get stuck in like this. Sort of smoke from Sunny. Finds some success once again. Allows him to look towards connector with a strong angle there. Takes down Paz.
So Sunny to hold inside of the smoke. With Mouse pulling back the last round.
Throwing smoke.
And having the advantage in this one, we're certainly set to go the distance. All the rounds, as you would say, Henry.
All the rounds. I think we'll see them all today. A fitting way to close at this stage of the tournament. 5-on-4. Chris J poised in the B apartments.
Look at Major's spot, though.
Yeah, I like that position. It's so scary to play that. Knowing that players can just walk past you without checking it, or they can come pre-fire you. You do need someone to bait you in, ideally. Why not checked it?
3 will be enough. Oh, they turn around. He's got 2. He almost had them all in his sights. They still pull it back because Sunny has gotten toward the window, and in doing so takes away the rotation to connector, or excuse me, to checkers. So 1-1 in the sight directly, bomb included, going on the attack in Oscar's hands against Zontara. Sunny still rotating in from Catwalk and Engine, taking his time to get through CT. Cautious and cognizant of the fact that Sunny was last spotted toward the vent, so he can't just rush by and expect to be undetected. And everyone's going to convert at roughly the same time, or are they? Because Oscar gets out towers, and Engine actually started looking back to the direction in case they weren't going to go B any longer. So he now has to pull this back. Inside the site, spots 1, can't do it. Oscar's got the shot. LMBT is extremely motivated tonight.
He really is. He's loving it. No real words coming out of his mouth, just noises. I'm enjoying it. The energy on this side of the room is electric. There he is in your screens right now. He's the one making all the noise. The team's not, and that's what the coaches they're supposed to do, right? They're trying to fire their team up and get them in the game. We've seen a lot of coaches act like that in this tournament so far. I think the most notable one was Kassad and Renegades. You remember standing in a similar position behind his team. They were very quiet when they looked out of the game. He picked them up by screaming every kill and trying to get them back into it. So that's what the coach should be doing. Full eco now for Space Soldiers. Zantares, one of the deadlier players on Space Soldiers, sits in the pass. Won't be finding that shot, I'm afraid. Good position from Oscar, takes it down. Sunny to find the second, takes a dink in the process, but still alive. 5 on 3.
5 on 3. 1 round between them. 10-10. A possible scoreline. Remember, if Mouse Sports win, DDK wins our predictions. That's more important than their spot at the major. If Space Soldiers win, it's YNK that wins it, and, well, you already know the story, really. The one that matters, either team, the victor moves on. That said, this round should be pretty quick. And then we get back into standard formation. We brought up for Space Soldiers. Calyx can't do anything at range with a pistol. Let's take him down. This has been impressive again. His second major now.
Yeah, it's looking great.
Imagine Mouse Sports with Nico could never make it out, but without, they might.
They should be there already, really, considering the disastrous game against QBF. But still, if they just make it at this point, they'll be happy with that. 10-10. I did say in the pre-game, double digits on either side. Very likely we've made it that far. All the rounds will be played. All for Major. We'll have 4 rifles. Full array of AK-47s on the Mouse Ward side. All the grenades. Plenty of residual cash. And what's the play coming into this round? Oh, miss smoke, mate. Hate to see that. Not at this level, can't happen.
Well,
now,
we saw Space Soldiers.
let's see what happened right here. So he hits Sunny. Luckily, they stay alive. But that should be smoked. That
Now,
should be happening.
the good news is now that they've got towards the boxes, they should be able to get that in again.
Yeah.
There it is, it lands. But yeah, we've seen both teams. Sunny tagged, you're right. Paz gets the kill. That's a misplay. It didn't cost Space Soldiers in the first half when we saw them miss it twice. Calyx is going to sit on balcony. You're still shaking your head, Hank.
It's just it's such a frustrating time for it to happen. That should be a smoke that's a lock-in. If you're throwing that smoke, it's a difficult one to throw. It should be happening every single time. It should be landing. But if you lose the game because of something like that, you'd be so gutted as Calyx finds a second frag. Christian will be dropped. Rob's fighting back there. What a player he's turning out to be. Low HP though, trying to do everything else he can, and he is nailed. Trying to now a 3 versus 2. Nice for his second kill of the round.
Robs to look towards CT stairs. He's got 13 HP. Ooh, he misses the first shot. Wants to go back out for a little bit more. Can't quite get the angle. He is gone. Nice throw from Major. Speaking of Boston and the Bruins and Tom Brady, the pitcher for their Red Sox team. That's pretty good. As Engine tries to spray back through the boxes, it's smoked off bomb. Stico smoked off as well to cover off a bit from connector. Stico's going to try and go toward the vent. I hate seeing people late in a retake. Stico shows us exactly why, and this should be the advantage. Mouse Sports. Engine versus 2. A kit to play with, but no smokes to work with, and I don't think he's realized he's going to push around behind him. And Oscar's got the kill. LMBT's losing his vocal cords.
He's going to have no voice left for Boston at this rate.
Can we just get a compilation of him at the end yelling nice?
Yeah, I think we might have to. Well, it's a Space Soldiers timeout. Here's the grenade coming through to Robs. I think you see all the bullets flying around him, but the nade is the one that takes him down. Now Sports take the lead. Means a lot to the coach, and I think we have to have a Space Soldiers eco here. Not that that's been unsuccessful for many teams at this major so far. Ecos, even full ecos, can yield success from time to time. Timeout though. Chance to calm down. As we'll see what Space Soldiers bring to the table here in round number 22. CZs, PT50s. Calyx and Paz will be purchasing body armor. Will it be enough? I don't think so. CZs, 3 of those. We'll see if they can maybe pushing towards underpass. There's not really many options in terms of stacks. Okay, very deep around, 2 at A, 2 at B, and now 0 at middle as Zantares gets taken down by Oscar at the very start of the round.
So, with that, Mouse Sports take control on the attack. Major has pushed up toward the kitchen. not much of one, but it has the essentials. A Mike Major going down, however, no hot pockets for him.
Chris J to find the frag. Remember, this wasn't really an investment for Space Soldiers. They know they have enough for the next round. They'll have maximum loss bonus, in fact. Engine will get one frag. That's going to be Robs. And Alex finds a second. What's happening here? It's all starting to fall apart. 3-on-3 now.
Chris J to rotate back around.
Oh, good call there.
Head toward B. This gets them out of dodge, you're right, because it did start to fall apart, but they had just enough space to get away from it. There's no need walking into the pistols. Desperate rotation, trying to continue on moving form and salvage what they started, but Oscar's already got ended in rotation. Paz knows they've planted the bomb, but Chris, great shot on the AK. And it's just Calix, and he's going to back off. He's got armor, and there's a few guns available over toward A, so he'd likely rather grab one of those and get away. He's got a cross connector to do so.
Great call from Mousesports, I have to say. Knowing you've given up the AKs on that side of the map, why not go towards B? You know, the AKs are there. It's going to take them a long time to retreat. You've got a smoke, chucking the connector, get up towards shore. There's nothing they can really do. And you even take down those rotating players in transition towards the B bomb site. Calix will be the last player remaining. He's only got a CZ, and he's looking for anyone exiting towards shore. He'll definitely get some action here. I doubt he gets a kill. If he does, he can find a weapon. Looks towards Jesse to get it. No, I'm not sure yet. That's what I mean. Oh, he does. Picks it up. Manages to get an A. Well played. 12-10. Mousesports come one step closer. That was Oscar with the pretty easy pick by his standards at the start. Took that engine as well as he was coming towards that B site. Great shot. Space Soldiers with another tactical timer. They have one more remaining here. Calix did save the AK. They can definitely buy into this round. You know, the stats for you. In terms of ADR, it's Oscar presenting another fantastic game in this tournament. He's currently got 24 kills, 12 deaths. Rob's not far behind. He's also got a 20 bomb, 13 kills. 11 for Sticko, Sunny at 13, Chris J 11. The top of the scoreboard is Major on the Space Soldiers side, 15 for Paz, 12 for Engine, and Calix and Xanterra's on 11. Xanterra's normally dynamite on this map. Haven't really seen him turn up as of yet. Haven't seen a big clutch from him. Haven't seen anything too wild. And so it's round number 23. We'll see if they can do anything with this.
We'll see if they can. Oscar on the op, Paz on the same. 2 kits, Engine. I take that back. Calix actually just bought one, so. This Engine's on Taraz, but Calix in on that as well now. So Chris aggressive already. Major. He flashed in. That's a bit much considering they're fully blind. He didn't need to go for a fast one. Paz still has the angle set. Major does find one immediately after, but Sticko's traded him off of him. Now try and pursue and be successful in the pursuit of the B site.
All planted. Still anyone's round. Look at the HP from Mousesports. Sticko at 5. That same counter boost you saw in the Fnatic game. It'll be Sticko sent up there this time. Smokes are good though. It's going to be Space Soldiers coordinating themselves. Maybe take a smoke towards the arches. Molotov on the site, make it a flashbang. Sunny won't be affected by it. Find one kill in this position. Robs can't find anything. Sunny now trying to back up his teammate, but it might not be enough. Left in a 3 versus 1. 20 HP. Shortly Space Soldiers round. They haven't had one in so long, but he might be able to deny it. Sticking away. Put a double spray down here. Can't get it. Is there a kit available? There is indeed.
Absolutely. Xanterra's pulled that in. They just barely got that. Close as you'd like, but Space Soldiers finally get around. First straight up gun round they've had in this half because they've won the pistol and then got to 10 early on. But on those sports since then, 5 straight. Now that's 1 for Space Soldiers and 5 in a row. As most of you playing along at home likely know, is a maximum loss bonus, so that could be reset. And Mousesports, in doing so, would be in a fantastic position.
Plenty of money for the international squad of Mousesports. AKs, AWP for Oscar. Always a deadly recipe. They have the lead for now, and Rob's looking to continue it. Clean shot to Paz. Completely opens up the map there. That was towards the A ramp, waiting for a player to push and completely railed him. 5 on 4. Mousesports don't have to do anything really. It's a reaction-based map. The CTs have to try and reclaim something here, whether it's pushing the B apartments or just leaving it completely open in terms of that side of the map. Chris J and Co coordinate themselves towards mid, smoking towards that window area. Could boost someone up if they want to. They said they'll boost towards short to look for anyone boosting on the other side. They will get ready with the Molotov. That goes towards ELeauge. Major hits the shot but can't find the kill.
Backs off as well. AWP still in hand. He's getting pressured up close. Tries to just pre-fire back to the smoke. Sticko's gotten up on top of the small canopy, if you will. To get an angle to Oscar gets shot, but it's all gone. Mouse Sports. Oscar follows it. Alex down. Wow. And he'll hit Zontaras. That's the reset. 13-11. LMBT loves it.
Close it now. The words from the coach. He knows the money's in the bin for Space Soldiers. They had the maximum loss bonus. They won a close round on the B-bomb side. 2 players surviving. That was the shot from Robs. Okay, so he wasn't even defending an aggressive push. That was actually just pre-firing the angle for players crossing towards connector. My God, what a pick it was. And I agree with LMBT. This was the chance to close it out. It doesn't get much better than this. They're looking for 14-11. Just pistols for Space Soldiers here. It's been a great game so far. Best game of round number 5 for sure. Great CS displayed in the earlier 2 games, but very one-sided defense. Molotovs, smokes towards him. Sticko trying to open things up. He knows he gets his first kill. Step closer to the legend status. Oscar and Sunny will chime in first. 5 versus 3.
Sunny sliding up inside of middle. The finish flag. The first Finn inside of our playoffs, our legendary status in a while, because ELeauge didn't make it with FaZe last time.
Neither did Zen from Penta.
It's true. Sprout, as they are now known.
Cool. See you later.
Good turnaround. Engine couldn't even buy a headshot. Tried. He did give it a go. 14 looking likely. Space Soldiers 8-7 lead swapped to CT. 10-7 lead before Mouse Sports bought back in. Paz just the deagle to work with.
Mouse Sports guaranteed 14-11 at this point. Bomb makes its way towards A. Trying not to make any mistakes here. I like this. It's on the back of Sticko right now. Actually goes towards B, I beg your pardon. Patrick waiting for the spawn. He'll get 1. Oscar probably backs off now. Let him have that AK. It's absolutely fine. Oh, he does take him down the end. Nice work. And there it is. 14-11 comes through. That was the EK for Space Soldiers. Can't afford to make any mistakes now. Here's Oscar doing what he does best. Just nailing shots all over the shop. As he gets in towards shore here. Gets the 180. Takes an engine. He only had the silence USP, so it was going to be a difficult kill at that range. Last time out now for the Space Soldiers. What a story it's been for them. Their first major, they make it to the round of 16. They fought all the way to round number 5 to become legends. And now up against it, backs to the wall, 14-11, can't make any mistakes at this stage. The buy is going to be difficult. UMP for engine, couple of M4s, Calyx and Zantara to bring. Same story for Major. Paz, they can drop an AWP. They don't necessarily have a main AWP. A Major will use it. Paz will bring it out from time to time. But there's the final buy. Mouse Sports looking to close it, as LMBT said. Smoke towards mid. Looks like a pretty standard rounds. As we're into number 26.
Backside flash, they can push out. Smoke down on Cat, they'll push through. Sunny's gonna get inside of it. These guys are gonna clear up. Sooner or later, Paz is going to take advantage of it, at least for now, at the bottom of connector. M4 in hand. Sunny getting closer. Goes. Zontaras is there. What a shot through the edge of the box. He doesn't even have to expose himself to Zontaras. That's a great angle, great find. Smoke down. Zontaras can do nothing of it.
Yeah, that's a huge scope to take. No reach raid coming in, but a headshot is. Sunny has to just walk away now. Major, one of the key players of Space Soldier. Guaranteed kill. There it is. Sticko, he'll make up for it though. He at the bomb. Lucky to stay alive. 4-on-3 now. Still a minute to work with. Zantares rotates towards B. That is the correct towards a heading. Now it's a chance to show up. He is certainly the star player of this team. He has to find some 3-on-3 alone. Takes down Sticko. And it's going to be the bomb. Still a 2-on-2. Up to Calix now to try and deny match point, Matt. He's in towards that window, 30 seconds remaining. The bomb is still towards shore. They don't have a smoke to take him out of his position. Calix, though, doubting himself, looks away for 1 second. Flashback. Can he find that shot? He can't. That's going to make things very difficult indeed. The plant will go down. Calix will jump out of the window. Has to find 2 targets here.
Calix trying to swing into position. Easy shot, Sonny. Weak! Calix takes Rops. 14-12. They're back into it. And they're responding with a little bit of emotion of their own.
Beautiful stuff by Calix there. Very calm. Very young player as well. Never really played on the big stage, and here he is, fighting for a legend spot at the major. 14-11 down, wins a massive 2 versus 1. That's huge. Well played, gets the defuse in. He keeps the hopes and dreams alive for Space Soldiers. Remember, they're on the CT side right now. 1 player surviving, your money's already very weak. Still going to be a troublesome time for them here. If they win the next round convincingly, they're back in this game. As you can see, UMP's come out. Engine and Paz will be wielding those. Major, AWP. Zantares hasn't had the best game so far. We haven't seen much in terms of aggression in this game. We haven't really had much work in terms of the actual money back. Jumping by the risk. Zantares, there we go, through the smoke. He finds Sticko and an early 5-on-4 comes in their favour. We're not done here just yet. Oh, Zantares, that's a brave peek. My goodness. Lucky to be alive.
Zantares is going to smoke down. Sprays in, hits Sonny. It was just a guess, but I guess that's correct. Sonny's lucky to be alive. Another bullet, and he was dead and done. Zantares is going to elect to play in the window still.
He would have got a sound cue. He got that dink in as well. See his go, he hit the head.
Was it a dink or 2 body shots?
It might have been, so I'm not sure.
I think it was 2 body.
16 HP suggested it was a dink, but I didn't. Obviously in the smoke, I didn't quite see. Wants the barrel, or does he? He does. Takes it down. A nice little flick. Zantares with his 2nd frag of the round. 5-on-3. Looking for 14-13. Chris J, though, to be the saboteur in all of this. One tap there. That's beautiful stuff. Might not be enough to win the round as we're left in a 4 versus 1. Robs will have to fall back as the bomb goes down. Oh my goodness, that clutch from Calix seemed to have fired up the Space Soldiers. They managed to recover weaponry as well. Double orb setup. M4 for Calix. Engine certainly going to have a rifle next round as well. They won't have to hunt for Robs. They know they need to keep everyone alive here. Mouse Sports will have cash remaining. They've got enough for 1 more buy. Space Soldiers could still steal everything away. So Robs, 15 seconds. He's out of this round. Just a chance to talk now and work out what next round will bring. Well, well, well. There it is. Space Soldiers will indeed win the round. Zantares through the smoke at the start. This was the play. Dink Sticko at the beginning. We might be able to see the second kill as well. You don't see the beginning of it, but he does.
Say, yeah.
Either way, he seemed to be aware of the possibility of a player being up there.
Master of the smoke.
Indeed. Just I called him out as well for having a quiet game. He pulls that off. Always seems to be the case.
Sure, absolutely. Well, that's good. Builds to the narrative. Engine, AWP. Major, AWP. Oscar, AWP. Sonny Mac 10.
I'll say it one final time. Winner of this game is a legend. To go turn the B rush and Mouse Sports. They're getting stuck in here. Jumping orb going to have to come out. But they do anything with this. There's smokes everywhere. Has to protect him. I don't think it'll be enough for Major. Somehow still alive here. Can he find anything more than AWP? Certainly stuck inside of the smoke. He's trying to stay alive. He's preserved himself. Sticko on the ball. I had no idea that he was still in there. It was too high to see him coming through. Major on 3 HP. He's gone finally. Finally, Chris gets him, but Calix with 17 is no better off, and Oscar's able to find that shot. So finally it falls apart. It is left to Engine. Oh, he misses a shot as well. I don't think he expected him to be coming back out from bench. That was bomb. That would have bought him a ton of time. And now he's got to clutch it back. Oscar's still going to be staring at the window as well with the AWP. On the T side, and Engine's, I think, called it. He has to. This gives up map point to Mouse Sports. It's a tough decision to make, but they don't have a lot of money to go with, so AWP is valuable, and they have to concede. And MBT's not celebrating just yet. He wants to make sure that bomb's definitely going off. It will be match point, legendary point for Mouse Sports here. The B rush yields the success. Some smoke thrown into the mix, some flashbangs as well. It certainly wasn't pretty with Major there dancing around the smoke. He gets 2 of the AWP. Hold on to your seats. Mouse Sports doing everything they can here. This was the play for Major. I don't know how he survived for so long. Great play to do so. Round number 29 begins. I think it's a good play that Engine did save the AWP. It's considered one of the weaker players on Space Soldiers. And with the orb, probably wasn't going to happen for him. He'll win the CZ. He gives the orb to Major. Allow the player performing at his peak to try and make something happen with this. They need this round. Mouse Sports 1 away. As he goes for the B rush once again. Can you believe it? Major's flashed off. This could be it, Matt. He's by himself on the B side. The orb goes down, but Zantaras is fighting back. Chris J will get the plant in. There is only 1 kid available for Space Soldiers. This could be the round that decides it all.
Zantaras has enough of the flames down. He wants to cross, doesn't want to take any damage, but he's also smoked at window. Engine has a body and flash. I was going to say, put that through. Gets Zantaras in position, but he's going to go on his own. Manning up when he needs to. Runs back, it's more difficult. Calyx, he wins the duel on stick. Gives Zantaras room to window, but as he goes to peek again, his Mouse Sports, it is all on pass. Tries to defuse, can't do it. Oscar's got it. And Chris is a legend now as well.
Chris J finally makes it to the playoffs of a major, the final of that horrible club. It seems like they've all advanced this time here at the ELeauge major. Well played to Mouse Sports. Commiserations to Space Soldiers. What a story that's been. They've had many teams on the ropes, a lot of blunders in terms of games they should have won. They've shown a lot of heart in this tournament, and they'll certainly be back at the next one. They're a team to watch out for, and they've shown they've got a lot of skill, a lot of talent. But there it is, Mouse Sports. We are final team going to Boston.
Final team going to Boston, and we will find out who has the other in the quarterfinals. The matchups are about to be drawn, not before we talk about this game in itself, because it's worthy of note. And Space Soldiers, you're right, first ever major, well performing pretty much the whole way through, I would have to say. I mean, even in the qualifier, it looked like they were building into it. But with that said, we will take a break. We'll join the desk and we'll get our match.